Hey guys, and welcome back to another Pokemon Leaks and Theories. Today we got a lot to talk about, including potentially Black and White remakes being leaked. We've got HeartGold and SoulSilver anniversary, which makes me feel really old. And we've got a brand new Pokemon company being announced. It's a very big video, so make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and let's get straight into it. Let's kick things off with a brand new Pokemon company that has been registered. The Pokemon company have registered a new subsidiary company called Pokemon Works, and is located in the same building as Ilka. So you don't know who Ilka is. Ilka are the company that made Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. So it kind of looks like now whenever a new remake will be made, it's going to be Ilka's job to kind of remake it. They didn't do a great job in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I think the main issue with it was they recreated Diamond and Pearl. They should have recreated Platinum. That was their mistake. But that doesn't matter. They can learn from their mistakes, and I'm not actually mad if they are put in charge of future games, because they did capture Diamond and Pearl quite well. It was just the issue of, obviously, they chose the wrong game to recreate. We have no idea what this is about, but we can speculate that the Pokemon Company and Ilka have set up a support studio to help Game Freak develop new games in the future. Now, this is a good thing, and Central Leaks has explained why this is a good thing down below. So this is a good thing. If our speculation is accurate, then it means that we get more staff for the main series games. This also means a tighter control by the Pokemon Company over the borrowed staff from Ilka. Then the future smaller games can be developed entirely by Pokemon Works, leaving Game Freak with more times for the bigger games. This is a great strategy, as this down here says. And then Emma says, I think this all sounds like a good thing. There's been disturbing lack of quality control for the Pokemon Switch games. Completely and utterly agree. Utterly agree. And this means now that we could actually be getting, like, obviously, I think it's sad to say that Pokemon games have been on the decline. Scarlet and Violet, I stand to my point, were quite bad. Legends Arceus was brilliant. Honestly brilliant. Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl were okay. Like I said, they chose to remake the wrong game. They chose to remake Platinum. Then it would have been so much better. Sword and Shield are actually okay. I didn't like Sword and Shield when they first came out, but I quite like them now. And then Let's Go, I actually really enjoyed. So you know, maybe going on about it. Maybe the Pokemon games the last few years have been okay, but Scarlet and Violet were a massive, utter flop for me. I thought they were awful. But yes, so it just basically means that whenever Pokemon now are given a game over to Ilka, it means that they've got basically a subsidiary company helping Ilka out, making sure that the games are going to be up to standard, which is fantastic. And maybe we could be getting Black and White remakes. More on that in a minute. Moving on over to our next story, and this is just quite basically a sad story for me because it makes me feel old. And 14 years ago today, on the recording of this video, which is the 14th of March, Pokemon HeartGold and SoulSilver were first released to the Nintendo DS in North America, meaning I can't remember the actual date in Europe because obviously I'm based in Britain, but it's going to be around the same date, if not the same date. These remakes of Gold and Silver feature new gameplays, graphics, updates, several expansion in key areas. These games were fantastic. These games were just brilliant, and I just want to take a moment to basically say how good these games were. Like, so if we go down, I don't think any other Pokemon game remake and maybe even game has given me greater satisfaction than these two legends. If only BDSP and Oras to some extent achieved what HeartGold SoulSilver did all the way back in 2009. Go away, you. Like, honestly, these games are utterly brilliant. And I will scream it to the end. HeartGold SoulSilver, my favourite games ever. Moving on over to our next story, and this is quite a big one. Probably Deoxys will have a new form or Mega Evolution in Pokemon Legends Z to A. In X and Y, you can change the forms reacting with the meteors you find in the fossil labs in Ambret Town, but as you can see, there are 5 meteors when there's only 4 forms. Would be great that if they use this as an Easter egg for future game PLZA, and will have a Mega Evolution or another form. Could that be inside the meteor? There is the Mega Stone. So obviously here, I don't know, we've got 5 stones, and basically what you need to do is you need to bring Deoxys to these stones, and it'll either go into its attack, defense, speed, or I can't remember the last one. Yeah, but you get it. He has different forms, and he has 4 of these forms, and there's a 5th stone. So nobody knew what the 5th stone was, but they could be thinking it could be maybe a Mega Evolution, which I wouldn't be mad at. I think Deoxys will, as long as, you know, they bring in a bunch of Mega Evolutions. I don't really care if Deoxys has one, to be honest with you. It's not the one I would think that I'd want, but I don't mind. And someone's just figure out, normal, because obviously it spells DNA. well, DNAS actually, because of speed. But this is quite a cool one because obviously we knew we were going to be getting new forms of the Mega Evolutions, but a Deoxys one could be quite cool, meaning we could be getting more legendary forms. For example, I don't even know what other legendary forms Mega Evolutions we could have. We never had Mega Vegetal and Mega Xerneas. That would be quite cool. If it's a Pokemon Legends Z to A game, it's gotta be a Mega Zygarde, even though realistically the game with Z to A could be up, because if it was Pokemon Legends Z, then it would be different. It would definitely be a Zygarde, but Z to A, is that talking about AZ, the character? Who knows? But the main thing is Deoxys will be getting a Mega Evolution, which, like I said, I'm happy about. I don't really care, to be honest with you. He's not my choice, but at the same time, who am I to choose? Next story. Moving on over to our final story, and this comes from Riddler Q, who we all know is very good at leaking Pokemon games. And I mean very good at leaking Pokemon games. And on Chinese New Year, obviously being the Year of the Dragon, he tweeted out this: "Happy Chinese New Year, love you guys," with a picture of a white dragon and a black dragon. And a lot of people kind of saying that it could be something from Yu-Gi-Oh! I had forgot the name for a second, and obviously you got the white dragon. I don't know Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot at all, so if I've said that wrong, kill me. But obviously this could be a direct link towards Pokemon Black and White's remakes. Hopefully. I'm praying to God that we get these games. So Blaze Incineroar tweeted out, "If by June we get an announcement for Black and White remakes and no Z to the A starters yet, some people will start to say that Snivy can't be a starter in Z to A because we are getting Gen 5 remakes this year. Mark my words." And I don't think that's not a bad thing to say. I think that's a fair enough point to say, to be completely honest with you. Obviously, if it feature on going on feature, I will be doing a video on predicting the starters for Pokemon Z to A. But I don't understand. I think Snivy won't be one, especially if they're going to be releasing a new game. Jamie did reply saying, "If we are getting a new game this year, it would have been announced in Pokemon Presents or on Pokemon Day." Well, same thing. "There is no new game this year. I'm fancy to accept that. Also, it's too early for another remake. We have 2 remakes on the Switch already," which, to be honest with you, I completely not agree with the point saying it's too early for a remake. BDSP came out in 2022, maybe? No, that would have been Pokemon Legends 2021. So 3 years ago this year. There's normally about a 6-year gap, because obviously, well, roughly a 6-year gap, we're thinking, because if we're thinking like this, 2016 or 2014, ORAS came out, and then it was a 7-year gap. So it's quite a long gap in between ones, and obviously they say we've got 2 remakes. They're counting Let's Go as a remake. I don't count that as a remake per se. So I think it would be very early for Black and White remakes, but at the same time, what are they going to release in the meantime? I don't know. We can't have a new Generation game because Generation 10 won't be around the corner, because obviously we just had Generation 9. We've just got a Legends Z to A, so maybe we could be getting another Let's Go game. I would love that, but then at the same time they would have released it before Legends, so what can you say? But he did reply saying, "Actually, I'm pretty sure BDSP is the only remake announced on a Pokemon Day, and every other remake has been announced in May or something, and that was just because Pokemon Presents wasn't around and the other remakes are announced. Now that we have Presents, it makes sense to save major Pokemon game announcements on Pokemon Day." Obviously, I do agree. I really want Black and White. I want a new game this year, but at the same time I don't. I want them to spend time on this new game, but at the same time we have to wait till next year. We don't know when next year we're going to be getting it. So, but there could be Black and White remakes. You don't know. Maybe they're just going to release them out this year because fun. They want more money. But SoulSilver Art did also reply to this, saying, "This is a really good point. If Black and White remakes are coming later this year, would that mean you personally count Snivy as a potential PLZA starter? For me, it's obviously does it because I'm fully expecting Black and White remakes this whole time, and Superior would get a Mega or Reform, I'm guessing that means. But then again, does it seem that Game Freak doesn't like to give us the same starters back to back? Once again, don't disagree. At this point, just give all the Galar starters a second run in the spotlight." So what would we be saying? I don't actually hate the idea. I think a lot of people were thinking Snivy would be getting a starting point in Pokemon Z to A, which once again I won't be too mad about. I quite like Snivy. Obviously, we don't have a form of getting Snivy on Pokemon on Nintendo Switch yet. Naturally, obviously, you could transfer it over. So I think this game will soon we'll be having all Pokemon on the Switch. But I think I will be saving my predictions for the starter Pokemon until later on. But that is all the stories we've got for today, so let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.